What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 19 of the podcast. This one, we don't have Ethan coming for this one again, but this time I got a special guest. I got my boy Connor Krantz. Connor, what's up with you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just woke up, enjoying my day. So happy to be on this podcast. I'm excited to talk about all the new soccer news that's occurring around the world today.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how'd you get into soccer? Who's your favorite team and some of that stuff?
I got into soccer at a super young age, been playing my whole life. Absolutely love the sport. I believe it's the greatest sport on planet Earth. My favorite team is West Ham United. I'm an absolute die-hard fan. But at the end of the day, I'm just a soccer fan. So I love everything about soccer. Doesn't matter what it is. I'll sit down anytime and enjoy a game.
Yeah, that's really dope, bro. But now let's get into some big news that happened over the week in the Champions League. So first of all, Manchester United dropped points again. They lose to Istanbul 2-1. Now, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job on the hot seat in your opinion?
It's tough. It's tough. You know, Man United right now is in a tough position, and who knows? Who knows what the board's gonna do? You know, as you've talked in previous episodes. You know, they have a decent squad, but at the same time, you don't know if the board will back the manager, and it's tough. You know, I truly couldn't say.
Now, there's rumors that Pochettino, obviously he wants a job. There's rumors that the board's talking to him privately about a contract. Do you think hiring him would actually bring change? Or do you think the culture, like the losing culture and the board not backing managers will continue no matter who the manager is?
I think there needs to be a change for sure. I mean, Man United sitting 15th in the Premier League right now with some of the players they have. Don't get me wrong, there needs to be improvements, but I 100% believe, I'm going to butcher his name, but if Pochettino came to Man United, I 100% believe there would be a change, and they could bring back a lot of that winning culture that we're talking about to the team, I believe.
Yeah, I agree with that, but this raises a question in my head. Why didn't they get Pochettino last time when he was available? I know Ole started really good, but Ole was very inexperienced, and some might say it was beginner's luck, which it looks like it has been. And Pochettino has been available, so I don't know why they didn't hire him when he was available. Sir Alex Ferguson actually recommended that they hired Pochettino, and they didn't listen. So now it just looks like they delayed this whole hiring process 2-3 seasons, and it's just embarrassing in my opinion.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Pochettino, he's an absolute fantastic manager. We know he's done wonders at many different clubs. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to say about that.
Yeah, so now
Ridiculous.
we're gonna stay in this group real quick because there's another upset in this group. PSG, they lost to Leipzig. To be fair to PSG, they did suffer 2 red cards in this game, one from Kimpembe and one from Idrissa Gana Gueye. And also Mbappe and Neymar did not play, but PSG dropped points again, and they sit third in this group after 3 games, 3 games left. Do you think they're gonna get into the top two, or you think they're destined for Europa League?
I think PSG will turn it around. I honestly do. You know, they the Champions League's tough. Anything can happen. Leipzig is a good team, believe it or not. You know, they're third in the Bundesliga. You know, they're always a tough team coming up against. They have no quitters. The team's full bunch of warriors. I think it's a tough L for PSG to take, but I believe they'll be back 100%.
If Mbappe and Neymar stay being hurt and PSG doesn't turn it around, how do you think they will react playing in the Europa League? You think they'll take it serious? You think they'll fuck around? You think they'll refuse to play? How do you think those two superstars of Big Eagles will handle the Europa League?
Yeah, good. Good question, man. I think if Neymar's not turning up and some of the other players aren't turning up, I 100% could see everything turning into a bigger disaster. That's 100% what I believe. And you know, just kind of going off topic a little bit, but I'm kind of even surprised Neymar's still there. I know there's been a lot of drama at points with Neymar and PSG, but yes, I 100% believe if Neymar doesn't get going and some of the other stars on the team don't get going, I mean, you know, they're probably not gonna last much longer.
Yeah. Neymar, he's been a disappointment this season, and even at the end of last season, he was pretty bad. And like you said, I'm really surprised he's still there too. But I feel like the city of Paris, the culture, the art, like the how beautiful Paris is, I think it fits him. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, I do. That's true. Neymar, he loves traveling. He's that type of person. I believe so. Paris is a fit for him. I believe that.
Yeah. Now that we covered some of the Champions League big stories, let's move on to the Premier League and look ahead to some big games this weekend. So first off, I'm starting off with Everton at home versus Man United. Both teams are in horrible form, losing their last couple of games. But in my opinion, I believe that Ole needs this win to keep his job, and Man United need this win to get out of the bottom half of the table. How do you see like this storyline going? Like, do you think Man United will win? Do you think Ole will lose his job if he loses? What do you see in this one?
Everton's been looking good. You know, they're fourth in the league right now. They always have a decent squad. I think we both know this. You know,
Yeah.
they're always I would say I would say they're always a class team. And honestly, I think this game's going to be a draw. And I also agree with you though. I think if Ole doesn't get a win this time around, he's for sure in that hot seat. And I think it's gonna be a cracker of a game. I 100% believe that.
Yeah, it's at 4:30 a.m., but you best know I'm waking up to watch it because it's a must-win game. So many storylines. But I got this question for you. Let's say Man United does win. Does Ole does he lose all the pressure, or is he still in the hot seat?
It's kind of similar to Pellegrini at West Ham. I remember he got a win at Chelsea, and then that calmed everything down. And then after that big win, everything went back to shit. If he gets a win at Everton, it's gonna be huge for the club. Since they're 15th, they'll probably shoot up 4 or 5 spots, something around there. But it take off a little pressure, but Man United should be doing a lot better. So he has a lot more work to do after this game. Win or draw. He's gonna have to take a point from this game. In my opinion, he has to take at least three. At least three.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love Ole. He's a great person. He's a huge fan of the club. But when the results aren't coming in, even though I don't think it's 100% his fault, the manager is always the first one to take the fall, to take all the blame. So I see his days numbered, to be honest. I think by Christmas we'll have a different manager for sure.
Yeah, I could agree. Hopefully we pick up someone such as Pochettino or someone else. I know I keep butchering his name. I'm gonna fuck, but yeah.
Yeah, so now let's move on to another game. Chelsea at home versus Sheffield. Chelsea, they've been playing amazing recently. They got 5 clean sheets in their last 5 games, 6 clean sheets in their last 7. And going against a team like Sheffield, who doesn't really have any goal scorers, I can see them getting another clean sheet. How do you think this one's going to play out?
I think Chelsea being at home is gonna probably smash on Sheffield United. Sheffield United's right at the bottom of the league, 20th in the league. I think it's gonna be a rough day for Sheffield United, to be honest with you. Chelsea, as you said, 5 clean sheets, and as we know, they got an absolute stacked squad. Timo Werner, Giroud, Conte. I mean, you know, outside of a lot of these brilliant players, altogether though, they have just a good squad, good chemistry, and I believe they'll probably smash on Sheffield United. Probably a 3-0 win.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, at the beginning of the season, Chelsea was leaking goals, but now they signed a new goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. Do you think their defensive improvements down mainly due to their new goalkeeper, or do you think it's due to the team getting chemistry with all their new signings?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I'm glad they did sign that new goalkeeper. I read up on that not too long ago. And I also believe Rudiger, he made a couple mistakes earlier in the season as well. I'm almost certain when West Ham was playing Chelsea, there was some mistake made by Rudiger. Could be wrong, but either way, I think it's a little bit of both. I think they had a rough start at the beginning of the season, and they kind of got used to it and got comfortable. With COVID going on, there's just so much shit. But I think it's a little bit of both. New signings and everything just kind of meshing together.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think the goalie, Edouard Mendy, he's a huge upgrade on Kepa.
Hmm.
I feel like Kepa has a lot of talent, but his consistency isn't there, and I feel like he's mentally weak, and I feel bad for the guy. I think he needs a whole reset. But I feel like Mendy gives the backline confidence, and when they're playing with confidence, they don't make those mistakes that we're accustomed to Chelsea making over the last couple years. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I 100% agree. It's going to be an interesting game. You know, if Sheffield United could get a point from this, or even pull off a huge upset, it would cause tremors in the league. So, very interesting game we have in that one.
Yeah. Would you say Chelsea's a Premier League contender this season, or you think it's too early for them?
Whew. That's a great question. Whew. I think I think they could be 100. I do, because I'm just looking at their squad, and they just got so many good players. And if they put it all together, I mean, I feel like they could be one of the best teams in the world. I honestly do. They got all the potential in the world. They do. I mean, they got, look at this, Pulisic and Mason Mount.
Havertz.
Yeah, Havertz. I mean, they're building a little bit of a young squad, and they got some older players on there, but yeah, I 100% think they could be contenders.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I thought they were going to be a top four team because I expected Liverpool and Man City to be like heads above everyone else. But both of those teams are also kind of struggling. Liverpool not as much, but Van Dijk's injury, we'll see how that goes down the line. But if those teams struggle and they don't get points every game, Chelsea for sure has a chance. I mean, you mentioned all the talent they have. They're just going to get better. They're not going to get worse. And I'm really excited to see that team over the next couple seasons for sure.
Yeah, me too. They're just gonna keep growing. That chemistry's gonna go off the charts as long as everything is, managed correctly, put in its proper place, and yeah, man, very exciting times for Chelsea.
Yeah, now let's move on to a game that's probably going to be a little bit personal for you. West Ham versus Fulham. I'm not even going to say anything. Just walk me through this game.
Man, well, this is a must-win game for West Ham, as every other game is in the league. We're taking on Fulham, which, all respect to Fulham. I think they're a great club. All their players are always leaving it all out on the field. It's tomorrow at 12, so I'm glad I could sleep in a bit before I watch it. But I think since it's at London Stadium, I think West Ham's going to have the advantage, and I think a lot of their players are going to be coming onto the field making sure they're going to get the W, because Antonio is out with a knock currently, and he has been an absolute star for the team. 6 matches so far this season and 3 goals, and outside of that, he's just been an absolute force. And with him out of this game, at least I think he's still out, unless all these rumors is this fake news that I'm saying. Unless he's not out for this weekend, honestly, then I 100% am not concerned with anything, and I think West Ham will smash on him. Without Antonio, I'm a little concerned, but he might be okay by now. I truly don't know, but I believe he's not, and if he's out with an injury, I am a little bit concerned about who's going to be scoring the goals. But we've seen Bowen be a threat to goal. Sebastian Aller can be a threat to goal. This is going to be quite a game, though, because I know Fulham's going to come, looking to kill. So it's going to be quite an interesting game.
Yeah, this is the game West Ham needs to win, in my opinion, to convince me that they've improved from last season. Last season, at points, it looked like they were going to get relegated, and we both know that West Ham has too much prestige to be in the second division. They belong in the Premier League. They're a Premier League proven club, and when you see them always in the top half of the table, or at least like no lower than 12th. They always belong above 12th, and these are the kind of games you need to secure all 3 points to get up there. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen in that game. But also, is it too early to say Fulham are going to get relegated?
I believe so. It's Fulham, I believe, will stay in the league at the end of it all. I'm looking currently at the league table. Obviously, we have Sheffield United way at the bottom, 20, Burnley and West Brom. It's too early to say who's getting relegated because who knows? Brighton might end up down there, but I think Fulham has enough talent on their squad to stay up. Um, and one thing I absolutely love about Fulham is they're the oldest London club, you know. So I just absolutely love that. Um, Total real English club, and I hope they stay up. Honestly, even though they're in London as well, right by West Ham. Uh, I honestly like Fulham and respect all the players, of course, and hope they have a great game tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fulham is also a prestigious club, but the last couple of seasons for them have been pretty horrible. Some people complain about their owners. So I just hope they fix that and go back to where they belong. But now let's move on to my game of the week in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure it's everyone's game of the week in the Premier League. Manchester City versus Liverpool. There's a lot of injuries in this game, so it's kind of hard to predict a favorite. But if you have to go with a favorite and you have to bet on this game, who would you bet on?
I'd go with Liverpool. I would go with Liverpool mainly because actually the last matchup, Man City smoked them 4-0. Before that, Liverpool had beat them in November 3-1. So it's actually it's tight. It's tight, especially like you say with injuries. I would lean towards Liverpool because they've done better this season for sure than Man City, but they're also injury ridden. So it's a tough one, but I'd go with Liverpool.
Is it like a stretch to say whoever wins this game becomes the Premier League favorite starting from next week?
I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. I honestly believe whoever wins this game is exactly that. This is a battle between, I know Man City's at the middle in the middle of the table right now, but this is a battle between basically two of the best teams on their best day. We know when these teams come in form, these are the two best teams in the league, just about. And
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I believe whoever wins this will be like the self-proclaimed champions.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And also, Firmino from Liverpool, he's been out of form. Liverpool brought in Diego Jota from Wolves to be like support for Salah or Mane if they get hurt. But Jota's actually been playing striker because Firmino's been so out of form. Like, do you think Jota's going to start this big game, or do you think they're going to go back to Firmino and rely on his like veteran leadership and his experience?
I think Diego Jota is a fantastic player. That's just one thing I can say. What he did at the Wolves, I think he's just such a talented player. Um, Honestly, Firmino, I think personally, and I could get hate for it, but personally, I've always thought he's a elite player, 5-star, top tier. He's a savage out there on the field. But I've honestly felt like Firmino's always been a little overrated at Liverpool, and I don't mind Jota getting all the shine, man. He's a fucking beast. I mean, I absolutely loved watching this guy at the Wolves. I mean, I just thought he was always just so crafty out there, and yeah, I personally I think keeping Jota in the position he's in, uh, Firmino might not like that. I'm sure Firmino has a much higher wage and all that, but I don't mind it whatsoever. I hope Jota stays in there the whole time. To be honest with you, I like Firmino too. Don't get me wrong. Firmino's an absolute savage. Although I always think he's been a little overrated at Liverpool. And I say up Jota, up Jota.
Yeah, I agree with Firmino being overrated. And also, I do agree with Jota needing to play. The man's been in form. He's been scoring goals, getting assists. He actually got 2 or 3 goals taken away from VAR, so his stats should
Wow.
actually be better than they are too. So he needs to start because of the form. And if Liverpool are gonna win this game, I feel like Jota's gonna have a big factor in deciding this one for sure because his form right now is unstoppable. I don't think anyone can stop him right now. And Man City, they're not known for their defense, and Mane, Jota, and Salah, all that pace and skill running at them is really scary. And I don't know how Man City would be able to cope with that.
Yeah, man, Liverpool definitely firing on all cylinders. They've had a couple bumps throughout the league so far, but they're sitting number one. Not surprised. Jurgen Klopp, the mad genius of the EPL. So man, this game's gonna be an absolute cracker. That's all I could say. 8:30 sharp at Man City. This is what it's all about, in my opinion. It's what it's all about. The two best going at it.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a big matchup. And one more thing on this game. So Man City, they're known for scoring their goals. They have De Bruyne creating in the midfield. They have Sterling, Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus, Aguero, even though Aguero's probably going to miss this game through injury. But this season, all these players are not bagging goals. Do you think this is due to change here against Liverpool's weekend defense? Or do you think Liverpool can hold Man City to maybe 1 or 2 goals even without Van Dijk?
Without Van Dijk, yes, I think there's a big hole in that defense. I think Kevin De Bruyne, I think he could he could weave that ball through anything. I think De Bruyne will be able to set up many different goal scoring opportunities throughout the whole game. I think Van Dijk being out for Liverpool, I think that's just such a big hit for them. And yeah, I honestly think Man City will be able to work a lot more as a team without Van Dijk. I think that's a fact. Any team coming up against Liverpool right now is going to have a bit more room to breathe without having that crazy Dutchman on them.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Van Dijk's amazing. Some might say he's the best defender in the world. I would say he's for sure top 3. I can't really pick him between my top 3. But having him not there, if Liverpool can win the league without him, that just shows how great of a manager Jurgen Klopp is and how great those players actually are. And if they do it without him, all those players deserve raises. Jurgen Klopp deserves anything he wants, in my opinion, if he can pull that off.
One thing I also wanted to say was that, as you said earlier, Man City's not really known for their defense, and that's 100% true. Although I will say, I think Man City fans miss Company. I'll tell you that right now, because when Company was there, an absolute rock, man. The good old days.
Yeah, I always hated Company because when Man United and Man City were both good, he would cause problems.
Oh yeah.
But now he's old, not there anymore, and they're struggling. Kind of happy to see it, even though it doesn't really mean much when we're 15th in the league, so I can't really laugh at them now.
True. I can't say anything either.
Yeah, now we're going to move on to this segment called our Pick'em segment. So we're going to do Premier League games this time, so I'm going to tell you the fixture, and you're going to tell me a quick prediction with a scoreline, okay?
You got it.
All right, so first we're going to start off with Brighton versus Burnley. Who do you got in this one?
Brighton versus Burnley. Man, oh man. I'm going to go with Brighton 2-1.
I can see that. That's what I would have predicted too, 2-1 Brighton. That sounds about right.
Hell yeah.
Southampton at home versus Newcastle.
Newcastle having Andy Carroll. I know that bloke was injured the whole time at West Ham, but I'm going to just have to go with Newcastle over Southampton. I'll go 1-0 over Southampton, even though Southampton is doing good right now. So there's no mistake there, but I'm a little soft for Newcastle because Andy Carroll, even though there's no reason to be. I'll go Newcastle 1-0 over Southampton.
I'm going to go 2-2 in this one. I see a draw. I see a high-scoring draw. Both these teams like playing attacking. And this might be a good, low-key game that no one's really going to talk about, but it might produce some really entertaining football there.
That's true.
And now let's go to Everton at home versus Man United. We were talking about this game a little earlier, but let's put a prediction on this one.
I'm going to go with Man United. I think they're going to come out really looking to win. Everton, on the other hand, they always do so too. Sigurdsson and all their players are absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to have to go with Man United. I think they're due for a big win here. And I'll go with Man United. I'm going to go 2-1 as well.
I have no faith in Man United, so I'm going to go Everton 2, Man United 1.
Fair enough.
It's going to be a horrible weekend.
Fair enough.
Now let's go back to London. Crystal Palace versus Leeds. This might be another high-scoring one. How do you see this one going?
Crystal Palace, I have a vendetta against them. They always just play absolutely fantastic against West Ham. Leeds, on the other hand, I'm actually happy. I'm so happy to see them in the Premier League. I'm gonna go with Crystal Palace on this one, 1-0 as well. I know they're both. I know Crystal Palace. They're pretty offensive team. Trying to remember the exact player.
Zaha.
Yes, that motherfucker. Yes, he's quite the savage out there. I think he makes an impact on any game he plays in. I would have to go with Crystal Palace on this one. I'll go 1-0 as well.
Yeah, this game's hard for me to predict because I can see both teams winning. But I think Leeds are coming off a harsh result against Leicester where they lost 4-1. And I think Marcelo Bielsa is a fantastic manager, so I think Leeds will bounce back and win this one by a score of 2-1. And now, another big game we were talking about earlier. I think we're going to agree on this one for sure. Chelsea at home versus Sheffield. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, Chelsea is just. I think Chelsea will be too sharp for them in every area. Sheffield United just hasn't been putting, many things together. I wouldn't say it's too early to say they're probably the one club I think confirmed that will be exiting the Premier League, but that's not the question. Anyways, I think Chelsea's going to smash on them. I think a 3-0 win for Chelsea.
Yeah, 3-0 is what I was thinking too for sure. Anything other than that would be really surprising. I've been set in stone on that result all week. Nothing's changed my mind. And I expect a lot from Chelsea.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Now, the most personal pick'em of the weekend for you. West Ham versus Fulham. How do you see this one going?
I hope David Moyes actually makes some substitutes. But I think West Ham being at home, they're gonna be sharp out there. Hopefully Mark Noble gets some playing time. Let's hope. But I think West Ham. I'll go 3-1 West Ham.
Yeah, 3-1. The way I see this game going is West Ham being up 2-1, Fulham going all-out attack, and then West Ham getting one in the counter at the end to make it 3-1.
I like that.
Now, another West team, West Brom versus Spurs. How do you see this one going?
Well, I'll never pick Spurs in my life, but let's be honest here. West Brom, a bottom three team right now in the league. Tottenham, on the other hand, a top 3 team in the league. I don't like Tottenham at all. I don't like Jose Mourinho, really. I don't like anything about this team, but I think it's undeniable that they are just a splendid team, and because of that, I will have to go 3-0 Tottenham over West Brom.
Yeah, I can see a big result from Spurs here as well. Son has looked amazing this year. Kane's looked amazing. Bale's getting back in form. The midfield's working really hard for Jose Mourinho. 3-0 makes sense to me too, so I'm going to have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
And now, this next game also going to be very competitive. If it wasn't for some of the big heavyweight games, I would have made this my game of the week. Leicester at home versus Wolverhampton. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, this is absolutely huge. Leicester 2nd in the league, and Wolves 6th in the league. This is guaranteed top English soccer. I'm gonna have to go with Leicester over Wolves because Leicester they've just turned into some English titans, haven't they? I mean, when they won the league a couple years ago until now, I think Leicester's just been a top tier club for a while now. I think they're absolutely English giants. I think Leicester over Wolves. I think Wolves, losing Jota, I think that has put a dent in their team. I have to be honest. I think he did so much for their team, and trust me, they still got so many good players on that team. They're not short of good players. I'll tell you that. Jimenez Rodriguez, I mean, he's a fantastic player, but I will have to go with Leicester in this game. Probably, I'll go Leicester 3-2.
3-2. That would be an amazing game if it's 3-2. Yes. I also think Leicester will win, but I think it'll be a little less scoring. I think it'll be Leicester 2, Wolves 1. But like you said about Leicester being Titans, that's a really good point. They've been performing every year, even though they haven't won it since they won it, but we can't expect them to win it every year. But they're performing, they're always getting top 6. And now in the Europa League, they're killing European teams. They're building their way up to be known all around Europe, and I'm actually really proud for a team like that to make it to where they are.
I agree. I mean, they're just, when they won the league 2015 to 16, I mean, that was just so big. It was their first championship. I was dreaming that it was West Ham instead of them, but yeah, Leicester, they're just some English Titans, simply put. Just absolute English Titans. Brendan Rodgers, he's a genius.
Yeah. Now let's go to the Premier League game of the week. Man City versus Liverpool. We talked about this game, but we didn't really give any scoreline. So who do you? I think you said Liverpool, but by how much?
I think Liverpool. I'm gonna go. I know I've said this quite a bit today, but I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool. I think even with Van Dijk missing, I think they'll still have enough. I think, of course, we know the players on Man City like De Bruyne and other players. They'll present a threat the whole game. You know, I'm sure they'll score once, maybe twice. But I think Liverpool has been a better team all around this season for sure, and I think they'll find a way to win. 2-1 would be my score for that game.
Yeah, I also see Liverpool winning this one. As much as it hurts me to say, as a Man United fan, but as a Man United fan, there's no winners from this game, unfortunately. But I got to be factual here and go Liverpool 3, Man City 1. And the last Premier League game of the weekend, it's an interesting one. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa's goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez came from Arsenal. He's been playing amazing. But how do you see this one going now? Can Emiliano produce an upset?
You know, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Aston Villa on this one. I think, I think Aston Villa has looked not great in their past 3 games. They lost in an absolute cracker to Southampton. They lost 3-4. They got smoked by Leeds 0-3, and they did beat Leicester 3 games ago 1-0. But they haven't looked too good. What I meant to say, they haven't looked too good in their past 2 games. And before that, though, I mean, look at this result on October 4th. They smoked Liverpool 7-2. I mean, what is that? So I think from these results over Liverpool and Leicester, we can see Aston Villa on top of their game. I mean, they're gonna be serious opponents for anyone. And I think they're gonna want to get back to their winning ways. And I'm gonna honestly predict Aston Villa wins this game against Arsenal. I understand Arsenal is Arsenal, and you know they got many great players as well, Aubameyang, and you know the list goes on for Arsenal. But Aston Villa's 8th in the league, Arsenal's 9th. I'm gonna go with Aston Villa. They've been looking so great. I'll go Aston Villa, 2-0, 2-0 Aston Villa.
I like that prediction. It takes a lot of balls to predict that. Not many people would predict that. And I can definitely see Aston Villa getting something from this game. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think I can see them getting all 3 points, and I do think there will be a lot of goals. So I'm going to go Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 2. They'll have to settle for 1 point each in this one, in my opinion.
I like that. I like that prediction. They're going to be going back and forth all night. So, you know, it's going to be one hell of a game, man. I'm so excited about all these games. Fuck, man. It's just
Yeah.
some great soccer.
Yeah, for sure. The Premier League this week looks insane. A lot of good games. But let's go to a segment we don't really do much, but European Game of the Week. I picked
Cool.
one game for all of you guys to watch. This game is going to be amazing. Out in the Bundesliga, Dortmund at home versus Bayern Munich. We all know how dominant Bayern Munich has been in the Champions League in Germany. For some people might say the last decade, but especially over the last 2 seasons, they've been beating everyone in their way, scoring 5, 6 goals a game. They have such a deep team. Do you think we'll see Bayern's dominance continue, or do you think Dortmund can get something out of this game?
It's you know, it's tough having Dortmund beat Bayern. You know, Dortmund is filled with an absolute devastating squad, and they have maybe the best fans in the world. And you know, there's just so many good things about Dortmund. Crap, I wish I was playing for Dortmund, you know, but I don't think Sancho and Royce, I don't think they'll be enough to stop the Bayern Munich machine. I just think Bayern Munich is just too much, and I'm getting flashbacks of Robin scoring in the Champions League final against Dortmund. I absolutely love Dortmund. Marco Reus, I believe, is maybe like my favorite player ever, but I would have to go with Bayern Munich on this one. If you pick against Bayern Munich, you're probably just lying to yourself. They're just absolute savages.
Yeah. Haaland, the striker from Dortmund, young striker, scoring a lot of goals. I think he already has I think I saw a stat where he has like 14 Champions League goals in 2 seasons as a young
Phew.
kid. That's insane.
Yeah.
Do you think he's the best striker in the world? Or best young striker in the world, excuse me.
Yes, I 100% believe he is. I mean, he is just he's just on another level right now. I mean, he's 20 years old and he's just turning up like no other 20-year-old is in the world right now. I think Holland is just a machine out there, and he has such an eye for the game. You know, his attack positioning, 10 out of 10. His shot, his physicality, everything about this guy is like he's just such a complete player. And as a striker, I mean, he's gonna make every defense shit their pants for many years. He's only 20 years old. He's not even in his prime until another 5 or 6 years. I think he is. I think he's an absolute threat to any team. Scratch Bayern Munich. It could be Barca. It could be Madrid. I think this guy could score against anyone multiple times, any day on his best form.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's really fast too, big body. He can use both feet. He's left-footed. He can head the ball. He can do pretty much anything on the soccer field that you want a striker to do. With that being said, I know you said Bayern's going to win this one. Give me a score prediction.
I think Bayern and Dortmund will probably go back and forth a bit, but I'm gonna go with a line that I've been going with a little too much. But I think Bayern will win 2-1 as well. I think Dortmund will net one in, probably Haaland or Royce or someone of that stature in the team. One of their stars, I think, will get a goal or two. But I believe Bayern will seal the game for 2-1.
Yeah, I also think there'll be a back-and-forth game with Bayern winning. But just to be different, I'm going to go 3-2. And I'm going to hope for more goals because, we all love watching goals unless it's our favorite team playing.
True.
But yeah, that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys' support. We're almost on episode 20. It's crazy to think we made it this far. And Connor, my man, thank you for hopping on. I know it hit you with late notice, but you were down to do it. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your opinions, and thank you for hopping on, bro.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for having me. I mean, I've wanted to go on a podcast for so long, and this is the best one to go on. I was so happy to do this. I know I butchered everything. I'm even butchering this right now throughout the whole time, but I did my best. You're the real professional. You led me the whole time, so I just really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I can't wait till I'm on here again sometime soon.
Yeah, bro, for sure. We got to make that happen. And don't worry, bro. You were great. And I'm sure all the fans are going to appreciate your opinion. But anyways, guys, thank you guys. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.